everybody and welcome. Today's project is going to be an adjustable dog collar, and I will be using a Thane adapter for this collar. If you are not familiar with an adapter, I'll leave a link below. I show you guys how you can make your own and where you can get your supplies from. For the cords that I'm going to be using today, I have my double cow's hitch hooked up with 550 in methane, and if you are not familiar with how to do the double cow's hitch, I will leave a link below. I show you guys how you can connect it to these square rings if you were using an adapter, or if you would rather use an quick release buckle, I show you guys how to do it for that as well in the same video. So I teach you guys how to do both. And if you're not familiar with how to hook it up to your jig, I do go over that as well. So I will leave that link below for you guys as well. So again, I have 550 paracord in methane, and the other cords that I'm going to be using today are, I have a second cord in 550 methane, and all the cords that I'm going to be using today are 550. I have polar blue, electric blue, and then I also have a silver. So the first cord that I'm going to be adding is the electric blue, and what I want to do here is I'm going to loosen up my cow's hitches just a bit, and I am using a paracord needle. If you don't have one, it's quite alright. You can melt the top of your cord and make a hard cap to help you push it through the two cow's hitches. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go right in between these two cow's hitches. So I'm going to go right in the middle of both of them. Take it to the other side and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. The next cord that I'm going to add is the methane. And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the electric blue. I'm just going to go in between those two cow's hitches, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. The next cord that I'm going to add is the silver, and what I want to do here is I want to go in between this first cow's hitch, right in the center, and then I'm going to go under the next two stitches going towards the left, and then I'm going to come up the middle of my second cow's hitch. So I'm going to go in between the first one, underneath the two stitches, and then up that second cow's hitch, just like that, and I'm going to bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. The last cord that I'm going to add is the polar blue, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the silver. I'm going to go in between that first cow's hitch right in the middle, underneath the two stitches going towards the left, and come up that second cow's hitch on my left. I'm going to go in between the first one, underneath the two stitches, and then up. Bring this cord to the middle, to the top of my work. Alright, once you have all your cords to the middle at the top of your work, you can tighten everything up, and I do suggest double checking your measurements just to make sure nothing moved around. And we can also roll up our ends. Because I'm working with two of the methane cords, I decided to roll up the one that I did for the double cow's hitch small, and then the one that I added later, I rolled that up a little bit bigger, and that's just to help me figure out which one I'm supposed to grab at which time. Once that's all done, we can just get started. I'm going to start off on my right side with my smaller bundle of methane, and what I want to do is I want to go underneath this first cord on my right side, come right up the middle, and then come over this second cord on my left. So I'm going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Next, I'm going to take my smaller bundle of methane on my left side. I'm going to go underneath the cord that I just worked, and I'm going to go underneath this first cord now that's on my left side, right up the middle and then over the second cord on my right. So underneath, right up the middle, and then over. And now I'm going to take my electric blue on my right side, and I'm going to go underneath all of my work and come right up the middle. So I'm going to go underneath and then right up the middle. And then I have this loop that I made with the methane on my right side. I'm going to go down that loop. I'm going to take the one on my left now, and I want to do the same thing. I want to go underneath all my work and come right up the middle. So go underneath, right up the middle. Have my loop right here that I made on my left side. I'm going to go down that loop. And now I'm going to take my other methane cord. So it's going to be my larger bundle. And what I want to do here is I want to find these two horizontal cords in the middle of the methane. And then I'm going to take my larger bundle now on my right, and I'm going to go over and around those two cords and then out my right side. So I'm going to go over, and then you can go around them, and then out my right. Take the one on my left. I'm going to go over and around, but I'm going to come out the left this time. So over and around and out the left. Next, I'm going to take my silver on my right side, and I'm going to repeat those steps that I just did. So I'm going to take the one on my right of silver, and I'm going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces and out my right. Just go over and around and out my right. Take the one on the left now. I'm going to go over and around and out my left. Over and around, out the left. And with the polar blue, I'm going to do the same step. So I'm going to take the one on my right. I'm going to go over those two horizontal pieces, around and out my right. I'm going to take the one on my left now, and I'm going to go over and around, but out the left. So go over and around, out the left, and then you can tighten it up. Once you have it tightened up, we can start that weave again. So I'm going to start off on my right with a smaller bundle of methane, and I'm going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Take the one on the left and go underneath the cord that you just worked, underneath the first cord, right up the middle, over that second cord. Now I'm going to take my electric blue on my right side, and I want to go underneath all of my work, right up the middle. And then here's my loop that I made, down that loop. Next, I'm going to take the electric blue on my left side, and I want to go underneath all my work and right up the middle. And then I have this loop on my left side that I made. I'm going to go down this loop. Now I'm going to find the two horizontal methane pieces in the middle and pick up on those a little bit. I'm going to take my larger bundle now, and I'm going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces and then out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Repeat those steps with the silver now. Take the one on the right, go over and around, out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. And then again, those steps with the polar blue. Take the one on the right, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. And you can tighten it up. And again, once you got it tight, we can start all over again. So I'm going to start off on my right with my smaller bundle. I'm going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Take the one on the left, go underneath the cord that I just worked. Underneath, right up the middle, and over. Take your electric blue on your right side and go underneath all of your work and right up the middle. And then go down that loop that you made on the right. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up the middle, and then down that loop on the left. Find those two horizontal pieces in the middle. Take your larger bundle now of methane. On the right, you're going to go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Take your silver now and repeat those steps. Go take the one on the right, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over, around, out the left. And again, same steps with the polar blue. Take the one on the right, go over those horizontal pieces, around them, out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around, out the left, and then tighten it up. Alright, so I've gone about 3 more weaves down to show you guys a bigger portion of what it's starting to look like. And I'm just going to continue this weave all the way down the collar. When I get to the end, I will show you guys how I do my tie off and what it looks like with the biothane attached. Alright guys, I'm at the end of my collar and I am going to weave in the top cords. And the cords that are coming out of the side, we will cut and melt where they are. So I am going to start with my methane cord on my right side, and these are the cords that are coming directly out of the top part of the collar. So it's going to be your methane, your silver, and your polar. You have a gap now in between your work and your 2 cow's hitches, and you want to go in that gap. And you're going to go in that gap with your methane on both sides and your silver on both sides. Once you have those through, you're going to want to work your polar next. And what you want to do here is you're going to take your polar cord and you have a small hole in between your 2 cow's hitches. You're going to go in that hole with both polar cords. Okay, once you have all that finished, you can smooth everything out and tighten it up. And then we can start on our sides. So I'm going to start cutting on my sides about 1/2 inch up. I want to fray them out. Then I'm going to melt it and squish it down. Be careful that it doesn't catch on fire. It does happen. I'm going to melt that and then squish that down. I'm going to do the next cord. Squish that one down. I'll do the same on the opposite side. Okay, so once you have that taken care of, we can start in the middle. And I'm going to start all the way to my left with my silver cord. I'm going to cut it about the same length. I'm going to fray it out, and then I'm going to melt it and squish it down. Next I'll do my other silver cord, and then I'll do my 2 mayhem cords and then my polar cords. I'm always going to start each color off on my left side and then work my way to the right. Okay, so once you have that taken care of, you can use your collar as is. You can hook up your adapter and be on your way, but I like to put a little bit of Gorilla glue on all of the ends that I just melted, and that is just for some extra security because I do not weave my ends in. I've never had any complaints that my collars have come apart that I know of. So I just put some on all the ends that I melted and I rub it around with my finger. It is waterproof, it's clear, non-foaming. Be sure if you do this that you get the non-foaming glue, because when I first started I got the foaming glue. Oh, it made such a mess on everything. So I'm going to let this dry and I will show you guys what the finished result looks like with the Biothane attached.